Welcome, everybody, to the July 18th, 2024 Board of Adjustment for the City of Prescott meeting. I'm going to do roll call after we do the pledge, and I would like to ask Councilman Gambogi to lead the commission in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman. As you well know, anytime we sit doing city business, we should be doing the pledge. So anyway, I'd like to have that permanently put on the agenda for my meetings. Anyway, I'm going to take a roll call. Jim Lamerson, I'm here. I'm the chairman. Tony Teeters, vice chair.
Here.
Member Tom Davis.
Here.
Member Mary Fredrickson.
Here.
Member Miriam Haubrick.
Here.
Member Mark Hoekness.
Present.
Member Tom Hutchinson.
Good morning.
Good. It looks like we have a full house today. That's interesting. So what's going to do is to have an approval of anything. It takes a quorum. So it'll be 4 yay. So we're going to go right into discussion items. And I will turn to our staff, who's more than capable of presenting what we're going to discuss right after we approve the minutes. Did everybody get time to read the minutes? Any changes or alterations or discussion that you didn't like something in the minutes? Not hearing anybody, not hearing any, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
I think we need a second, but
I'll give a second, Mr. Chair. Mark Hoekness.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for your second. Now, how about your vote? Are you an aye? Or
I'm an aye.
aye.
All right, I'm an aye. So it sounds to me like it was 7-0. All right?
Kim, I'm going to abstain.
Okay, I have one abstention, which is appropriate, and the abstention is due to the fact he wasn't here. So, thank you very much. So it's unanimous 6-0 with one abstention. Any more comments? Okay, let's go to discussion items. Staff member, please.
All right. Good morning, Chairman, board members. Kaylee Nunez, Community Planner. So we just have this one item today, variance at 827 5th Street. So here is the language from Land Development Code Section 3.9.3F. So it's in multifamily medium. The request is to allow a reduction of the 20-foot rear setback to 15 feet 9 inches to allow for the addition of a second manufactured home to the property. And again, the density standards in this zoning district allow the second unit. So here is a zoning map. It's on Whipple Extension, or the map is incorrect. Our GIS still shows that as Whipple Extension, but when it takes that 90 degree, it turns to 5th Street. So there's the aerial map. And here's a site plan provided by the applicant showing the existing manufactured unit and then the proposed. So the existing home is also a legal non-conforming as far as the rear setback goes. It will meet the side and front setbacks. Here's a picture of the site. Put arrows approximately where the secondary unit will go. And so I reviewed it against six of the criteria in Land Development Code Section 9.13, extraordinary conditions, substantial detriment, special privileges, self-induced hardship, general plan, and utilization. Of course, the staff report has the full analysis. So they largely met all of these criteria. The one that they didn't meet was a self-induced hardship. It's technically a self-induced hardship because they are desiring the second unit, but the analysis is that it is not out of character, nor will it have a detrimental impact to the neighborhood. So there was one other variance approved in the neighborhood, though it was a while ago, in 1996. The property immediately to the east has a secondary residence. Also, there appear to be several legal non-conforming structures in the neighborhood as it relates to setbacks. It is an older neighborhood, and that's pretty common that you see that. So we did send out mailings to all property owners within 300 feet of the project address. We did not get any comments. Recommended action, move to approve V24-004 per the site plan submitted. And we also have the applicant, Clayton Hall, here if you have any questions for him.
Mr. Chair, Mark Harkness.
Yes, Mark.
Question for staff. The variance is for the additional trailer, is that correct?
Yes.
Would it be wise for the board to approve the existing trailer so that both buildings on the property are conforming?
You know, that might be more of a question for legal. I'm not sure we can retroactively grant a variance for the other structure because it wasn't part of the application. And I also forgot to mention the reason they're requesting this secondary unit is Mr. Hall's partner runs a daycare, so they currently run it in their residence during the day, and they desire to have a second unit to contain those daycare activities. So they'll have additional restrooms and just more room for the children.
Thank you. Legal, could you give us some guidance?
Yeah, you can only act on the application before you. So while it may make some sense to do that, it's not something in your purview today.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for your question. Any more comments from the commission? Not hearing any. You guys want to move this forward? Does somebody wish to make a motion?
Jim, I'd like to add a comment if I can.
Okay.
Tom,
You did have your moment there, Tom. I
well,
did say
I
you
know,
were
I
hearing more
know,
comments.
I can't get away without saying something. A couple things. Number one, this looks like an infill project, which is good news. It also comes close to workforce housing, I think.
In a sense, it does provide a service that is needed in the community, which I can safely say.
Those are pluses, I think. And in my mind, the other concern I have, and it's not a big one, is that I think about daycare and I think about traffic and basically putting another house adjacent to the existing structure takes away some of that ingress egress that's there now. And I'm wondering if that's something we ought to be thinking about.
Yeah, so the way, and I can have Mr. Hall speak to that. I don't know where my presentation went. I may have taken it off. So it's kind of a dead-end road there, and it's not necessarily a cul-de-sac, but there is a turnaround area. How many children are attending the daycare in a day?
So right now it tends.
Go ahead. Go. You have to speak.
Come to the mic, please.
There we go. Right now it tends to be between 5 and 7. And so if this is approved, our goal isn't to expand because we have a conditional use permit and that only permits up to 8 children. So what it is going to do is allow us to use the vast majority of the current home, which is larger, for the daycare, and that will expand the number of rooms she can use to give the kids a little bit more room to have nap time and play areas, etc. And then our family will be living in the new, smaller home. So it'll give her a chance to have the business on one side, and then our personal space on the other. We do plan on keeping one of the small rooms in the business side as kind of a quick conversion hybrid room in case we have a family member in town, or her work with daycare and my work with youth and corrections. One of us is always fighting something. So one of those rooms will have a quick conversion so that we can use it if one of us gets sick or if there is a family member in town. But that's the current. It's not going to increase any of the traffic that currently comes through. There is a cul-de-sac there, apartment complex across the street, but the parents don't tend to show up all at once. It's usually one or two cars. They pick up their child and then they go. So.
Yeah, and it's a low volume daycare, so 8 max, that's not actually a significant amount of traffic. And like Mr. Hall said, from experience, I have a 5-year-old, you kind of trickle in like at different times to pick up your kids.
Thank you for your comments. We appreciate that.
Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
it's Mary Frederickson, and something also for the applicant. I was around for the conditional use permit application you had earlier, and I had a vague recall that there was a limit on the number of children. Thank you for reminding me that it was 8. Are you guys currently operating at the 8?
Not daily. Usually she fluctuates between 5 and 7. She does allow for drop-ins, and there are days where she does hit that 8 number, but we're aware of the city protocols for that, and she's currently in the process of applying for state licensure as well. So ultimately, there will have to be some convergence of what the state requires and recommends, and then also the city's requirements and recommendations.
Thank you for that clarification, because I saw something within the applicant submission with this request that your partner was looking to accommodate more parents who were asking for your services or her services. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Anything else?
Thank you for your question. I want to thank the mayor for attending. Welcome, Phil. So, any more questions or comments from the commission?
Mary Frederickson, I'll move to approve variance V24-004 per the site plan as submitted.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Yeah, Tom Hutchison, I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed signify by saying aye. Not hearing any opposed, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you all.
And there are no staff updates today.
Staff updates?
No, unless you want me to make something.
Well, we can't we meet just to meet? Okay, not having any staff updates, we adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.
As most are.